Most people think an economic collapse looks dramatic. A headline, a red chart, a breaking news alert. But what millions of Americans are living through right now doesn't feel dramatic at all. It feels quiet. It feels slow. It feels like pressure that never lets up. Today, I'm breaking this down in countdown style, 10 to 1, the real-world signs that show why everyday life in America feels harder, even when the economy looks okay on paper. No politics, no hype, just the signals people live with every day. Let's start at number 10. 1. Grocery downgrading, the first silent shift. It usually starts in the grocery store. A person stands in the same aisle they've walked for years. Same brand, same size, same routine. Only now, the price doesn't make sense anymore. They don't complain, they don't post online, they just reach for the store brand instead. Then they do it again, and again. By the time they check out, they've spent almost the same amount of money, but they're walking out with less food. This is the first sign of a squeeze. Not panic, not collapse, just quiet substitution. When millions of people start trading down at the same time, the economy is already changing, even if nobody says the word recession yet. 1. Extras, disappearing from daily life. The next thing to go isn't necessities. It's the extras. No appetizer, no add-ons, no impulse items at checkout. Takeout stops being normal and becomes a reward. Small upgrades vanish. Middle-class households start acting like they're preparing for something, without ever saying it out loud. This matters because extras are where demand lives. When people stop treating convenience as normal, businesses feel it long before headlines do. 1. Businesses feel the slowdown before you do. Here's a signal most people never think about: cardboard boxes. When companies expect strong demand, they need boxes to move product. When demand weakens, box orders slow down. Recently, box shipments have softened enough that manufacturers cut capacity. A cardboard box doesn't predict the future, but it measures temperature. And lately, the economy's temperature has been cooling quietly. This is how slowdowns actually begin, not with layoffs, but with hesitation. 1. Workers stop taking risks. Before layoffs show up, something else breaks first: movement. For years, workers learned the fastest way to get ahead was switching jobs. Momentum mattered. Now, people update their resumes and hesitate. Pay isn't much better. Requirements are heavier. Interviews take longer, so instead of jumping, they stay. Not because they love their job, but because stability feels safer than risk. This shows up clearly in quit rate data, which fell in 2025 to levels not seen since the early pandemic. When workers stop quitting, it means confidence is gone. And without confidence, wages stop catching up. 1. Income feels frozen. Even with a job. This is where things get heavy. You still have a paycheck. You still show up. You still do everything right. But you don't feel powerful anymore. You can't negotiate. You can't reset your life with one smart move. You feel stuck protecting what you have. This is how a fine-on-paper economy turns emotionally exhausting. Stability without mobility feels like slow suffocation. 1. Credit cards become a bridge, not a backup. At first, families try to cut back. Then, reality hits. The car needs repairs. The medical bill arrives. The roof leaks. The kid needs braces. Credit cards stop being emergencies and start being bridges. Balances rise. Not from luxury, but from life. And when cards stop working, households look for something bigger. 1. Home equity becomes survival cash. This is one of the most important shifts happening right now. Homeowners tap equity, not to upgrade, but to breathe. They refinance, they open HELOCs, they pull cash out, credit cards get paid off, pressure drops, then the new monthly payment arrives. Mortgage data from 2025 showed cash-out refinances dominating activity, often adding hundreds of dollars per month. That tells us one thing clearly: the normal budget stopped working, and higher fixed costs mean higher fragility. 1. Two Americas living side by side. This is why arguments about the economy feel so heated, because people are living in two different realities. One group still eats out, travels, upgrades. Another group is counting grocery trips and bulk buying just to survive the month. Data shows the top 10% of earners now drive nearly half of consumer spending, so headline numbers can look fine, while most people feel squeezed. This is the K-shaped economy in real life. 1. Energy becomes the bill you can't escape. You can skip shopping. You can delay purchases. You cannot avoid energy. Electricity costs rose faster than overall inflation, around 6.7% year over year in late 2025. Retired couples lower thermostats. Families monitor usage. Everyone watches the meter and still loses. Energy flows into everything: food, rent, transportation, local services. When energy climbs, it squeezes everyone at once. That's why the mood shifts nationally. 1. The cushion is gone. The real crisis. This is the biggest sign of all. It's not prices. It's the cushion disappearing. People used to absorb surprises. Now one hit can trigger panic. This isn't a dramatic collapse. It's a long squeeze. And squeezes last longer than crashes because nothing breaks cleanly enough to force a reset. Some people still do fine. Some struggle quietly. Same country, two realities. That's why this feels like a cost of living crisis, even for people doing everything right. So let me ask you directly, what's the biggest pressure in your life right now? Utilities? Groceries? Housing? Job security? Drop it in the comments. Your answers paint a clearer picture than any headline. And if this countdown helped you understand what's really happening, subscribe. I'll keep breaking down these pressure points, so you can see the pattern before it shows up in a headline. Share this with someone who keeps saying everything looks fine. They might be living in a different America.